Okay, welcome to Tech Entrepreneurs Nebraska. I'm Shonna Dorsey with the Nebraska Tech Collaborative powered by Aksarben, here for another 10-minute recording of our unedited fun podcast. I don't have a co-host today, but it's going to be great. And today I'm here with
Sam Hohman.
Awesome.
I'm Executive Director of Credit Advisors Foundation. We're located in Omaha, Nebraska, but we help people all over the country with housing and debt problems.
Wonderful. So Sam and I met through the Aksarben Foundation, and just tell us a bit about your role with Aksarben and we'll go from there.
So I'm a counselor on the Aksarben board, and it's such a great opportunity for me because when you're on that board and meeting with the level of people that do make contributions to Aksarben in the form of just time and talent, it's amazing exposure. But their work, particularly on workforce development and tech collaborative, it's outstanding. So it keeps me on my toes.
Yes. Yeah, you're just have been a great contributor, thought partner over the time that I've gotten to know you. So thanks for that. And today we're here talking about incomes and people that might live paycheck to paycheck when it's unexpected. And before we get to that, I wanted to talk a bit about the Nebraska Tech Workforce Dashboard. So on the NTC's website, we partnered with the UNO Center for Public Affairs Research last year to pull together this dashboard to tell us what the salaries are around the state, in tech specifically, how it compares to other career fields and things like that. And so the narrative is often tech jobs pay the most. And while that's true, you do have some insights into high earner not necessarily meaning comfortable. And just wanted to talk a little bit about that.
Yeah. So I think what spurred on you and I to get together for this was I had gave you a figure of 70% of the people out there are living paycheck to paycheck, meaning there's nothing going into savings and there's nothing left at the end of that paycheck. So they're just waiting for the next one. And when you think about that 70%, you're going to automatically assume it's sort of lower wage earners. But a payments.com survey that just came out actually this week said that 48% of people making $100,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck. And even more startling, 36% of those making $200,000 or more are living paycheck to paycheck.
Wow.
So these are the people that are not able to buy a home. If they, and sometimes that it does include a mortgage payment that makes it tough on them, but they're not able to save for retirement. They're not able to save for their children's education, or maybe they have to take care of an elderly member of their family, and that just piles on. It piles on. So it's not just a low income issue.
Right. That's so interesting. And so when we're thinking about how to help individuals who are like, okay, I want to get into tech because I can make more money, but then sometimes they get into the mindset of make more, spend more. So what are some strategies or thoughts you have around how to make the most of your like bonus and raises and, as you advance in your career, things like that?
Well, I think it's never medicine people want to hear, but it is about living within your means. Although right now we are seeing a lot of people who they are living within their means. The problem is things got very expensive, and their income did not pace out with with their expenses.
Yeah.
And it's not that when we hear it's 9% inflation or 7, whatever the most recent number is, that is a bundle of goods, but it is not a bundle of essentials. And so when you're talking the very essentials, groceries, gas, and I myself consider the cost of education an essential, right? This is how we, get that higher income level. All of those have way outpaced inflation. And so you're spending so much more and getting so little back. So that's why we're seeing people even at higher income levels getting in trouble. But it's about, it doesn't matter whether it's a baby boomer or a Gen X, or regardless of the age, the top 2 reasons pretty much run the same for why they're living paycheck to paycheck. And that the biggest one is carrying debt. And so you really want to make sure that you've got good debt. When I mean good debt, it's debt going towards an asset like a mortgage or even a car, because car is going to get you to work. But you don't want to carry credit card debt. We've got 40% of us out there carrying credit card debt, and the average interest rate is 27.9%. Wow. So that's damn near 30% interest on credit card debt. Right. And there's 40% of us are carrying that balance over and over. So
Mhm.
if you find yourself in credit card debt, you need to tackle it and address it.
Mhm.
And I mean, that's one of the reasons we're in Business Credit Advisors Foundation. So we help people kind of tackle their debt and
Right.
figure out where the problems are.
Yeah, that's really great. And, also just because we have many, many bright people around us who are very smart in their field, but may not have strong financial literacy just because not everyone grew up with it or, has had access to it. And so one of the things you and I talked about when we met, I remember this too, is on, 401ks and people
Yeah.
focusing on that. But you're saying focus on debt elimination, not
Yes.
individually, but like as a priority.
Absolutely. So,
Hmm.
I applaud employers who bring 401k specialists into the office and say, "Give a speech, talk to my people about the importance of saving." And that's great for the 30% of people out there who are not living paycheck to paycheck,
Yeah.
but 70% are. And so you need to bring in somebody like myself, and not
Mhm.
separately, because you'll have people who are living paycheck to paycheck and maybe putting away 1% into their 401k, and they're doing their best. They're trying to, be like the rest of everyone who's, scrambling up that financial ladder. But at the end of the day, if they're got that credit card debt, they're just digging themselves in a hole. So not to single them out, but to bring somebody like us along with their
Mhm.
401k specialist so we can talk to them together, because for a lot of people it's not this or that, it's both.
Right.
They're putting a little bit of savings away while they're carrying all this debt.
Mhm.
And nobody wants to be singled out to talk to the debt lady.
Right.
So you want to package that as a complete financial picture so that you are providing a service to the 70% of your employees
Mhm.
that feel that crunch.
Okay, I love this. I have 2 more questions, and I'm thinking about the beauty of this is that we're talking about people having more disposable income, like free income, not like tied up in debt or putting a trip on a credit card, things like that they're
Yeah.
not paying off right away, but really that full like flexibility in life. So 2 questions. One for the person who is a recent college graduate going into their first job,
Mhm.
maybe has some student loan debt. I'm just trying to think of the scenario. What advice would you give that person to like start off on the best foot?
Okay, so if they're carrying any private student loan debt, which is different than public student loan debt. So if they got private student loan debt, sock as much money into that debt as you can to get rid of it, because it has high interest rates, and you just want to get rid of it. It's all trouble.
Yeah.
If you've got the public one, that theirs are usually at really good, reasonable rates. I don't encourage people to pay those off early unless they're just kind of tired of paying it. Sometimes you just want that hurrah, I paid off my
Yeah.
student loans. But that's not a bad debt if it's as long as it's a low interest rate. But immediately max out your 401k as much as you absolutely can, and make that a non-starter. Just immediately take it out of your budget and say, nope, I'm going to save.
Right. That because that interest compounds over time and you grow that
It
nest egg for
compounds, and
yourself.
and the more if you max it, you're going to get the maximum match as well.
Right. Good
However,
point.
however your 401k is set up,
Okay.
and just always do that, because the numbers don't lie. The compounding, and the reverse is true. The compounding of credit card interest rate
Mm.
will eat you alive.
Mhm.
So that's why high debt first, get rid of it.
Yep.
Good debt, let it sit there, at least until it really bothers you,
Okay.
and save.
That makes sense. And so then I feel like the advice that you've given so far has been great for like the folks that might be in that career changer category or have been in the workforce for a while and they're just struggling and you're like, okay, it's hard, but maybe I'm using this term that I'm not super familiar with. I've seen it before, the snowball effect,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Can you tell us more if that's the thing that you would recommend?
It is, and the snowball effect for paying off debt.
Yes.
It really depends upon the person, because a lot of people come to us, and it's not just one credit card.
Yeah.
It's a lot of credit cards. Some people really need the motivation of getting one win. And so we
Hmm.
might say, hey, I know that's not your most interest rate card. It's not even your highest debt. But let's just get that one. Let's get that off the table. You have
Yes.
one less debt to worry about. For other people, it makes sense to, nope, let's pay off the one with the most interest,
Mhm.
the highest interest rate, and they're patient, and they don't, they see the bigger picture,
Yeah.
and they're fine with that. But it's kind of a personality thing, because
Yeah.
paying debt's no fun.
Right.
But if you can get those little wins,
Yeah.
It really motivates you.
That makes a lot of sense that you personalize or tailor it to the individual. So
Yeah.
while we're at the end of 10, I do like to extend these sometimes and we call it 10-ish at that time. Just change the name of it. But just to wrap up, can you
10-ish.
tell us a little bit about credit advisors and how people can find you and maybe even how employers can benefit from connecting with you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like I said, we're headquartered here in Omaha, Nebraska, but we help clients all over the country. And so people can email us, they can call us, we can do Zoom calls. My counselors have done it all. They'll go to people's homes if
Love it.
that helps them. And so you can find us at creditadvisors.org.
Mhm.
We also have online classes that are live, but they're online. So you can sign up through Eventbrite online and attend like our Credit 101 class, or maybe you're in that position where you're getting ready to purchase a home and you're thinking about it and you want to get all your ducks in a row. So we have a pre-purchase class for new home buyers,
Mhm.
lots of other classes. And then employers, if they want us to come out and speak to their employees, or even um, yeah, I do this with a number of employers in town. I have a phone number set up that's just for their employees,
Nice.
and so when their people call, I know exactly where they work, and I don't report back on the individuals, obviously, but I let the employer know, hey, we had 10 of your employees call this year
Mhm.
that we were able to help out, or whatever the whatever the data shows. So
Yeah,
it's very easy to reach us.
that's wonderful. Okay, one more final.
Yeah, yeah.
Aksarben gets extra minutes. So tell us if you have one on your top of mind. I didn't ask you this before, but one of your favorite success stories out of credit advisors so far.
Oh gosh, there's a lot. I just ran into some. So, I now you're going to bring tears to my eyes.
Oh,
Don't do that because these stories are so.
yeah, it's life changing for people.
It is. I just had a
Hmm.
guy. I was in a bar. I'll admit it. I was in a bar, but he came up to me and goes, "I just need to tell you, you saved my life."
Oh,
And he was in the middle of a divorce, and the debt had piled up, and you know, he was worried about what he could provide for his kids. And
mhm,
it's like, no, you were able to stop all of the bad stuff and reset me, and I'm out of debt now.
mhm. And when you can help bring that peace of mind to people, that allows them to show up, in a more positive mindset at work too. It really affects their entire life.
Oh, yeah,
So,
presenteeism, because if they're in debt, you've got the collectors calling, you're running out to make that last minute payment to the
mhm,
utilities, you're missing meetings, you're not there.
yeah,
And we literally in one conference call with a counselor can just give you peace of mind. You're like,
yeah.
I got a plan now. I've
Mhm.
got a plan.
That's so wonderful. So, thanks for being here and for the
Thanks.
important work that you do. We'll summarize the stats for sure because I think people need to understand that, especially employers who might think, okay, well, we're giving out great bonuses and raises. And it's like, right, but some of your people are still struggling and
They're still struggling.
that's a very hard topic to talk about. So, just
Yeah.
giving them a great resource is a good thing. So, yeah,
Thank
well,
you.
thank you for being here.
Thanks.